It's 6:12 a.m. on the 5th of November 2025. In the Philippine Sea, alarms erupt across the Ronald Reagan Strike Group. Below the waves, something moves slow, steady, too quiet for comfort. Contact, bearing 085, range 12,000 yards. The call slices through combat information centers fleet-wide. Shiloh, Benfold, and Halsey tighten the screen. E-2D Hawkeye crews mark the air picture. MH-60R Seahawks sprint for a dipping pattern. On the scopes, a faint line steadies at 120 meters, 7 to 8 knots, hugging a thermal layer. The watch officer exhales. Not a whale, not drift. A Yuan-class hunter is inside the bubble. Sailors clip on headsets. Hatches bang. Sonarmen build the solution, one ping at a time. The carrier holds wind for flight ops, but the ocean feels smaller by the second. If the sub breaks free, the strike group loses eyes. If it rises, it may surface in their lap. Either way, the next minutes decide whether calm returns or a crisis goes loud. The Philippine Sea wide, deep, and deceptively calm. Beneath its surface runs one of the world's busiest arteries for trade and military power. Every container ship and tanker here links straight back to American shelves, gas stations, and paychecks. The Ronald Reagan Carrier Strike Group guards that lifeline, keeping it open against rivals who'd rather see it closed. For months, Chinese patrol aircraft have shadowed U.S. ships, pushing boundaries, testing reaction time. But a submarine, especially one from the South Sea Fleet, changes everything. Type 39 amperes Yuan-class subs are diesel, electric, quiet, and lethal. On batteries, they vanish. When they surface, it's never random, it's a message. Inside the Combat Direction Center, tension climbs. The sonar trace shows the sub holding steady inside the strike group's outer ring, ignoring warnings and protocol. That means Beijing's willing to risk a face-to-face with a U.S. carrier just to prove they can. For the sailors, it's not just about the moment, it's about control, pride, and proof that their training holds when the ocean turns political. Commanders on both sides know the line is razor thin. One wrong maneuver, one misread ping, and the world wakes to headlines about an accident at sea. Now the Reagan crew must decide keep tracking quietly or force the sub to surface. Either move could shape the next decade of Pacific power. The destroyers can box the contact while MH-60R drop a curtain of sonobuoys. If the sub is forced to snorkel, its mast and radios light up intel gold. But push too hard, and metal meets metal in silence. Allies watch. Mark its weight. Credibility travels faster than rumor. If you were on that bridge right now, would you hold fire or push back? Drop a 1 for track it, or a 9 for force it up. 6:20 a.m. The Reagan Strike Group holds course. Sonar teams aboard Benfold and Halsey work in silence, tracing the same contact, slow turns, depth changes, deliberate patterns. The submarine isn't running, it's stalking. Target bearing steady, the sonar man whispers. She's waiting on us. Commander Lewis aboard Benfold makes the call. Deploy pattern Bravo. Let's box her in. A flight of MH-60R races low across the waves, dropping a string of sonobuoys. Each splash echoes through the headset net ping, 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 building a sound wall around the contact. Within minutes, the Yuan-class sub is inside a trap of steel and sound. On the Reagan's bridge, radar operators track friendly aircraft and ships, the ocean lit with coded transponder marks. The carrier itself remains silent, engines steady, flight ops paused. Every move now matters. The task force isn't hunting to kill, it's hunting to show control. Contact closing. Depth 120 meters. Comes the next update. The trace trembles, then stabilizes. Analysts run its acoustic fingerprint broad hull. Twin screws, a faint pattern of prop harmonics. The database flashes. Probable Changzhou SS 366. The room goes quiet. They have her name. Benfold pings active sonar once sharp, loud, deliberate. The water answers with a low growl. Moments later, the submarine begins to ascend. Slowly, carefully. The crew realizes what that means. She's surfacing, either forced or choosing to show herself. At periscope depth, bubbles shimmer on the surface, Then the dark sail of the Yuan class breaks through, barely a mile off Reagan's bow. Cameras roll. The American ships keep station, guns cold but locked. On the sub's conning tower, a red flag flaps in the wind. No words, no radio. Just silence and tension. Inside the Reagan's command center, sailors exhale, half in relief, half in disbelief. The sub is up, but the game isn't over. Now it's about reading intent. Is this surrender to surveillance, or a taunt to say, "We were here and you didn't stop us"? Either way, the ocean remembers. Every sound, every bearing, every heartbeat of this encounter will be replayed, analyzed, and stored. The crisis didn't explode, but it just left a mark in Pacific history. The submarine floats on the surface now, its hull slick and black under the morning sunday. Waves slap against its sides less than a mile from the carrier's flank. Every camera on the Reagan and its escorts zooms in. The Chinese flag flutters a message in plain sight. Over open frequencies, there's silence. USS Shiloh adjusts position, sliding closer to block the sub's path. On the bridge, tension crackles. "Keep distance," the admiral orders. "No, aggression, no mistake." Yet the Yuan's crew moves fast, hatches open, periscope retracts, sensors rise again. The Americans see every detail. Radar dome, comms mast, even a sailor with binoculars. It's a show. E-2D Hawkeye circles high, feeding live data to every ship. MH-60R hover low, sonar dipping to track what lies beneath. Because even if this sub is surfaced, there might be another one down there silent, unseen, waiting. "Range 7 cables," reports Halsey. "Any closer, and we're inside reaction range." The admiral nods. "Understood. Eyes on, record everything." For 20 tense minutes, both sides stare without blinking. No one fires, no one leaves. The Reagan holds east, the Chinese sub drifts west, measuring patience itself. Satellite links flash, Pentagon briefed, Beijing notified. Below deck, intel teams tag every second of audio. Mass data, hull vibration, gold for future encounters. A signal lamp blinks from Shiloh. Plain rules of the road. No answer. A warning horn rolls across the waves. Steady, deliberate. On Benfold's deck, the CIWS hums and slews in test arcs. The 5-inch is trained safe but ready. Bridge teams rehearse bridge-to-bridge calls. The legal officer thumbs the ROE card, line by line. Flight deck crews stand by chocks and chains in case a launch window opens. In Tokyo and Manila, AIS plots update. A rumor jumps across trading desks close past near a U.S. carrier. When the Yuan finally angles away, diving into the deep, the sea closes like a curtain. The radar screen's clear, but everyone knows it isn't over. The next encounter won't end with silence. It'll test who blinks first. If this were you on that deck, would you let the sub go or send a warning shot? Tap 1 if you'd let it slip into the dark, or 9 if you draw the line right there. An hour later, calm returns, at least on the surface. The Reagan resumes flight ops, jets thunder down the deck, and the sea seems quiet again. But deep below, the sensors still hum. Sonar operators catch faint echoes, too faint for a sub, too regular for whales. Possible unmanned, someone says. Moments later, a new contact appears. Small, fast, darting across sonar range like a ghost. Then another, and another. Multiple surface skimmers inbound, bearing 080. The admiral leans forward. Drones. Tiny signatures, barely the size of jet skis, race toward the task force. Intelligence officers recognize the pattern. Remote-controlled naval drones. The same kind used in South China Sea, gray zone missions. But this far east? Never before. Benfold's radar locks on. Contacts at 3 miles, closing fast. The admiral's jaw tightens. They're testing us again. The order goes out, general quarters, and alarms blare across the fleet. Flight ops halt. The ocean that seemed calm moments ago is now a chessboard of movement and intent. Seahawks pivot from ASW to surface watch. Deck gunners track the horizon. The incoming drones stay low, choppy, weaving through whitecaps too small to threaten the carrier, but close enough to spark chaos. Are they armed? Nobody knows. Range 2 miles. 5 bogeys confirmed. A pause. Recommend warning bursts. The admiral nods, calm but firm. Fire to deter, not destroy. Tracer rounds slice through the morning haze, splashing near the drones. 2 turn away, but the others hold course. Cameras fixed, streaming live to somewhere unseen. The crew realizes this isn't an accident. The horizon bursts into movement. The first drone speeds up, slicing through whitecaps like a bullet on water. Behind it, 2 more fan out, one veering toward the Reagan's starboard side. "They're splitting!" the operator shouts. Benfold's gun crew reacts first. 3 bursts from the Mach 38 cannon thunder across the waves. Shells strike close, fountains of water rising high. 1 drone explodes, fragments skipping like pebbles. The others keep coming. "Reagan, this is Halsey. Recommend hard turn to port." The admiral replies before the echo fades. "Negative. We hold." He knows the truth. Move an inch, and it looks like weakness. The entire Pacific is watching. Seahawks dive low, rotors chopping spray. 1 drops flares and chaff light and smoke to blind sensors. The ocean turns chaotic, orange trails and silver mist colliding over dark water. Then a metallic ping hits sonars something deeper, closer. "Second contact!" shouts the tech. The bridge freezes. Could it be the Yuan returning, or another sub covering the drones? 5 seconds of silence feel endless. Then, the contact fades gone. But its echo stays in every heartbeat. The last drone cuts within 600 yards of Reagan's bow, camera fixed on the flight deck. The admiral clenches his fist. CIWS, stand by fire when within 500. The ship shudders as the phalanx cannon roars. 20mm tracers slice the sky, turning the drone into a burst of flame. The ocean swallows the wreckage. Across the formation, boards flip from red to amber. No hits, no casualties. Deck crews recheck tie-downs. Operators steady their hands. The sea looks calm again, but every sailor feels it's changed. Salt spray and burnt propellant hang in the wind. Over the net, weapons tight, marked splash. A Seahawk drops green dye on the debris field while a RIB team stands by to recover fragments if they drift inside the screen. For a heartbeat, quiet returns. No one cheers. They all know they just fired in the thin space between deterrence and disaster. In Washington and Beijing, the footage plays in real time, each side claiming control, neither admitting fear. And if you were in that chair, would you pull the trigger again or hold back for peace? Drop 1 for restraint or 9 if you take the shot. Dawn breaks over a quieter sea. The Reagan's deck glows gold under the first light, calm but scarred by the night's tension. Below, crews clean shell casings, coil fire hoses, and wipe salt spray from consoles. The strike group sails east again, engine steady, formation tight. On paper, it's just another patrol completed. But everyone aboard knows they crossed an invisible line. Hours later, encrypted reports reach Washington and Pearl Harbor. The incident is logged as unarmed drone interference. The official tone is calm, routine, but the footage tells another story. Metal meeting metal in a test of nerve, where one wrong decision could have sparked a regional war. Intelligence officers replay the sonar logs. The second contact, the one that vanished, matches the acoustic signature of a Chinese submarine, likely shadowing the drones from below. It surfaced once to provoke and slipped back into the deep to observe the aftermath. A move straight from a Cold War playbook, updated for the drone age. In Beijing, analysts reached the same conclusion. The US didn't flinch. The carrier stayed, held position, and fired only when pushed. On both sides, the message is received but not spoken aloud. Next time will be faster, closer, riskier. The Pacific looks endless, but space for miscalculation is shrinking. Cheap machines now test billion-dollar warships. Politics and pride drive every wave. The Reagan sails on, a symbol of control, but even control has limits when silence becomes a weapon. As the sun climbs higher, flight ops resume. Pilots strap in, sailors salute, and routine returns thin, fragile, necessary. Yet under every heartbeat lingers the same thought. This was a warning, not an ending. Allies in Tokyo and Manila quietly tighten patrol schedules. Insurers nudge risk higher. The task force adds a new drill to the plan counter: drone, live, and relentless. If you were watching from the bridge, would you call it peace or just a pause before the next storm? Tap 1 if you think calm will hold, or 9 if you believe the next encounter will break it.